I mean, what kind of commitment can it show beyond what it is doing already? Because it won on the mantra, as you rightly said, the mantra of fighting corruption.
Thank you.
But the index shows that this is the highest ever.
Thank you, thank you. What I expect this government to do, for instance, is when matters that relates to grafts or corruption becomes a matter of public discourse, this government should act immediately, effectively, and with dispatch.
Are you talking about the Mena Gate?
Yes. Mena Gate, the former secretary to the federal government, the NIA,
DG,
all those things. You see, when matters break and the person at the helm of affair appears too tardy or too slow in taking decisive action.
But the president immediately said that Mena should be taken out of office immediately.
So
is that not fast enough?
No, that was Mena's own. But matters of graft had come into the open, which took this government quite a while to address and raise substantive and substantial issues. That should not be allowed in a government that says, I am for anti-graft, I am for transparency and accountability. You understand? It is when people see that you respond to issues timeously and with dispatch that they take you serious. And I want to say that the presidency, the presidency as a whole appears to me not working in sync together. And that will only be the reason why. For
working in sync with who?
No, together, working together.
With its agencies that fight corruption?
Yes. No, for example, you remember that it was a body in the presidency that gave a report to the Senate saying somebody was not fit to be the
DSS gave that report.
Yes. You see, if they work together and they are on the same page, nobody as an agency of the presidency will more or less, in my own opinion, try to work against the interests of the president in the fight against corruption.
So, but doesn't this tell you that there's discord? It's not all the agencies or units that are on that page of fighting corruption.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'll go back again to the question of, you've said you want the president to be more decisive.
Yes.
In what areas, what steps would you want to see to point to the fact that the institutionalization of the anti-corruption war is going on the right course? I mean, Gimba reeled out some figures here showing that there's an increase in the corruption index in the country, even with all the efforts that are happening. I mean, the Minister of Finance was quoted as saying at an event that illegal recruitment is higher now than ever before.
So that is the point I want us to get, and that is the point I'm making to this government, especially to the head of the government. Now, you came in on this basic issue. I am a person of unparalleled integrity. I intend to maintain this line, and I'm here now. This line must be maintained. So whatever must happen to give anybody the impression that the president is not serious about this issue, and whatever is being done by any other person to ride roughshod over this is desired purpose should not be allowed. That is the point that we are making. This government must show that it is serious in words and in action in this fight against corruption. That is the point that I see.
Markwe has a question for you in Abuja. Markwe.
Well, thank you, Gimba. Mr. Mumuni, I'm wondering, you have said that it would seem that corruption is ingrained in our DNA. Yeah. Some people would say that that cannot be right. What have you found that makes you reach that conclusion?
Now, okay, let's take it from 1999, when we got back to democracy. Some people have ruled this country at least from 1999 up and until 2015. If they have taken proactive and sound steps in changing the perspective from which we are coming from, I think things will not be as bad as this until the emergence of President Buhari as the president of Nigeria. And you see, the way the civil service have been configured, running and operating does not give anybody the impression that things are actually the way civil service is being run is the way it should actually be run. So the point we are making is that from what we have witnessed until Buhari came in, and the difference between now and then, for example, I remember that I organized a magistrate court conference for all the magistrates in Lagos State between 2013 and 14. And the person who delivered the inaugural lecture for the magistrate in Lagos State, all of them participated, was retired Justice Kayode Esho. And he was saying, now we now have eras of billionaire judges. He said, in his own opinion, and that's my sincere opinion too, if you say you want to be a judge, you cannot be contesting affluence with a lawyer that's in private practice. Once you say you want to be a judge, you are taking upon yourself the obligation of God on earth among human beings. So you should not be struggling about money again. You should be contented with what you have chosen for yourself. Nobody is given the position of a judge, for instance, without asking for it. So that is the point that we were. And the difference between now and then was that no government had the courage, the political will to take the judges to task and confront them wholly until this present regime. So that, to me, happens to be an improvement. I'm a member of the legal profession, but we had always known that the judicial stream is corrupt. And once the judicial stream is corrupt, then we don't have any hope. And that is what gives me satisfaction now, that the judiciary now are trying to cleanse their own environment so that Nigerians will have confidence in the judicial system. It is when the judicial system is not profoundly bad or is sound that every other thing will be sound. And that is the difference between now and then. And that is why I still give kudos or thumb up for this regime.